Alright, that's the best I can do. One of these days I'll figure out exactly how I want to sit and when I create a video over here and how it looks, and you know, so it doesn't cut off the top of my head, which I hate when it does that. Unfortunately, with the goddamn camera, you can either have it too high up or not high up enough, you know. And I don't have the magazines available to me like I did at my mom's, because she had all those fucking magazines she'd save forever. So I could just pile up one magazine at a time, you know what I mean? But I figured out exactly how to make it perfect when I create a video in my bed. And here it just hasn't happened. So I do some tests, but I'm exhausted and I didn't sleep good. I did sleep in the dark, though. I made it pretty much pitch dark. And since I got up, you know, to take Omar out to pee, it's still dark, and I tested it, and it's the computer. And I have to leave that on at night, unfortunately, because he gets up early, and he might want to use this thing in the morning, and he made it, like I said, he put in a regular phone for me. And he made it so that, because he only had a laptop, not a regular computer, so we had to move his router up here, so I can't shut down my computer, or else he won't have availability to his laptop. And, you know, I can't do that, unfortunately. I could, if I see, but he's the type, if I told him, well, if you get up in the morning, you want to use your computer, just knock on my door and tell me if I'm not awake yet. But then knowing him, he probably wouldn't do it. But if I start going to bed early, you know, if I start going to bed really early, by 10, I can get up and turn the computer on. Because no matter how much I cover it, it still shines some light. It sucks. You have to cover up the top with the router and the, you know, the things that go to the two things, the Comcast, two Comcast things, the phone and the router, whatever they are. And then down the bottom, have to cover up the power strip. And then the stupid light on the, even in the light on the back of the computer, that little tiny light, it shines. Because when I've blocked out the windows, you know, you can see any kind of light. So I haven't quite reached pitch dark, but it's pretty damn close. I'm going to down this whole thing of water. I'm dehydrated. I got my period yesterday. And I fasted all day yesterday. I got my period. I believe in the late afternoon, closer to the evening. In any case, the last time I fasted, the day after fasting, I weighed 167. And this morning, even despite my period, I just weighed myself, I weighed 165.8. So if I can maintain that, or even get it down a couple pounds and then fast again, I can get down to my, what I was consistently at Joe's, you know, like the day after fast, I'd be like 163 or something. And then I started getting even lower. But as I've said numerous times, that takes vigilance. It takes extreme discipline. But before eating or drinking this morning, I just weighed myself naked, 165.8, so. If the goal is 150, I have quite a ways to go to reach my goal. The first step is going to be able to sleep more. That means going to bed earlier. because he gets up early in the morning, you know. And this morning I had to pee anyway, you know, but he turned the light on and it woke me up out in the hall. Although I know how to take care of that too, because that happened at my friend's, you know, his place. And unfortunately it wasn't until I was almost leaving, a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, 4, whatever, I'd been there most of the time. I didn't even think. All I have to do at night is put something, block the door underneath in here, and then the light can't shine in. See, you gotta think, Laura. You gotta think. I've said this before too, there's no rhyme or reason to my views. Videos I think would be more popular or not, and then ones I think are not even, I don't understand, because already my March 26th update part 2, now obviously that title reveals nothing, so what happened was somebody watched it and shared it and whatnot. It has me talking, you know, to Cheryl, but I have tons of videos like that. And it has me talking a little bit about my mom. I don't know, it already has 50 views, and it was in my top, when I went to my analytics, it was in my top 10 watched, you know, for the time, that period, that month, whatever. I don't know. Like I said, I've noticed a lot of times I have no idea. One time I did this video and real quickly it had like 200 views and I didn't know why. I have no idea why people like one of my videos better than the other. To me they're all the same. One of my online friends said, do you watch your videos before you... yeah, I do. Back in LA I couldn't. Back in LA I created them and I had to just upload them. There was no time, there was no... Remember, I had a small opportunity. Because I was not living there alone, you know. I was doing something I shouldn't have been doing in the eyes of the people I was living with, but you know how that goes, you know. People who do bad never want their bad behavior exposed. It's not rocket science, you know. And they twist it around and make it out like you're the monster when it's really them. Yeah, I've said this before in the past. It has nothing to do. It's if somebody likes a video and then they share it with someone else. Because I've had videos get a lot of views and I didn't even title them. But videos I think will be more popular that I create are not. And then ones I'm like, that's no big, that's nothing special in that video, and it winds up getting a lot of views. Boggles the mind, doesn't make any sense to me. But another thing I've repeatedly stated out here is majority of 75% of my videos are on private, intentionally so. Here and there I've taken a few off private. Remember when I was in that shelter I couldn't watch my videos either. Sometimes I would try, but you know, any shelter you've ever been in, anyone, the big thing, the place the homeless people hang out at is during this library, and you know, there are eyes everywhere. How am I supposed to be watching my videos when there are eyes everywhere around me, watching me? You think I could ever blend in anywhere? I could never blend in anywhere. I said, those people in the shelter, I was nice, I was kind, I was polite. I kept my distance, but, you know, sometimes they pushed me too far. Just like they definitely pushed my African American, that woman who became my friend and then no longer my friend, pushed her too far, yet she showed her true colors in the end with me, because she actually had the nerve. She knows how those people were towards her, towards me, whatever, you know. But in the end, she was saying to me, "Oh, now I see why they said what they said about you. Fuck you." You know. I hate people like that too, who, when they like you, they'll say one thing, but then they'll try to change it around if they stop liking you. I don't do that. I don't lie. She was awesome in a lot of ways, and in a lot of ways she was not. But I would never say, suddenly say, I see why so-and-so said this about you, you know, now I see your true color, whatnot, you know. I could see all along. I kept it to myself, but, you know, nobody's completely innocent in anything. And I include myself in that bunch, okay? But right now, due to numerous mitigating factors, interlocking, intertwining, I believe mitigating is the same kind of definition. I know that's the correct way of using it. It might be redundant to say interlocking, intertwining, and mitigating. I don't know. Mitigating might be slightly different variation on the same theme. But due to numerous interlocking, intertwining, mitigating circumstances, at this very moment, I do not know whether or not my own mother is alive or dead. I do not know whether or not... I don't know what's happening to her. She could be seriously ill. She could be... filled with hatred. Pure, unadulterated hatred. This isn't anger. This isn't rage. This is pure fury. Fury. Helpless fucking fury. This situation is due to little to no fault of my own. Don't clench your hands, Laura. You clench your hands. See this on my chest? I did this to myself during one of my videos. And then I picked at it, so Lord knows when it will heal. Picked at the scabs. Fury. Sorrow, rage. Wouldn't even label what I've been feeling as hatred. It goes even beyond hatred. It's just helpless fucking fury. My soup today. I was telling him we didn't go in time. It closed at 5 on Saturday. I know it closes at 7 during the week, but actually I thought it closed on Saturday later too. No, it closed at 5, so I couldn't get him the rent yet, but it was early anyway for the rent. Looks my bank. I told you, citizens. So I could conveniently go to Stop and Shop, and I got my frozen squash, 2 packages. I also also got a can of, 2 cans of soup too. I think I got Amy's Thai coconut again, and a can of squash soup. I believe that's the 2 I got. In any case, I got 2 cans of organic soups that were creamy, and 2 packages of squash, frozen, organic, Cascadian Farm. No, it's not Cascadian Farm, whatever it is, I don't know if it. And I told them, yeah, you saw how the big things of Swiss chard and 2 different kinds of kale and spinach and the, and the greens and the spring mix. You saw how much greens I actually added to my soup. I wanted to balance it out, with some, some flavor, some couple cans of creamy soups, and the squash, balance out the green taste a little bit. So today, I'll be blending it all together. I'll be mixing those things in with it and blending it all together. And I bought 8 more containers to put it in, and that's the way it will be. I plan to have it every day, just not a shitload of it, Sometimes I make it and I eat too much of it when I've added, beans or rice to it, and I need to cool it because, as we've seen, you can still get heavy eating organic food. It's not, no matter what kind of food you eat, you can't be a glutton. Can't be a glutton. Kidding. Can't be a glutton. You have to cool it, even when you're eating healthy stuff. Definitely, if you want to get down to 150 pounds, like I do, I have to lose almost 16 pounds to get down to 150. And I have to reset my switch, because my body doesn't want to be 150. I think I definitely have to figure out how to make a little bit of extra money. Remember, when you're on Social Security, you can still make a little extra money and you don't lose any of your benefit amounts. Because Social Security realizes that they really don't pay very much. They let you work a little bit. I'd be happy to make an extra 50 a week. Extra 200 a month, that'd be perfect. Said I don't have expensive taste, but the organic stuff I want to buy, is expensive. I want to take care of my teeth, I told you. I'm not going to buy any clothes. I'm not going to buy any clothes. Maybe one outfit's it. I'll find it at a discount. Macy's coupons or Wow Pass or what, what I mean. I might buy one outfit for the summer, not even for the spring. So right now I'm not going to buy any clothes. When it hits summer, I might buy, one nice, pair of shorts and short sleeve top. New. That's it. There's no money in my budget for clothes when I want to continue with this organic. It just isn't. There isn't. That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. So I figured out how to make my room dark. That's good. And I simply have to start going to bed earlier. There's no reason for me not to go to bed earlier. There's nothing I care about on TV. You know, I watched that show, Believe, and I watched The Voice with him. I missed The Voice a couple times, unfortunately. Last time I missed it because the dentist. I went to the dentist, and I traveled really far. And then the other time was when I went to that humane lobby day all day thing, you know, so I missed The Voice. But I've been watching The Voice with him. I need to be vigilant. I need to make sure, since I know I have to set these sheets up at night and whatnot, make it pitch dark in here, and that takes time. I need to make sure I'm all ready for bed, and if I watch The Voice till 10, I'll be all ready for bed, and then just hop into bed, see? Probably call Cheryl today just to tell her, just to give her a little nudge. Say, please, my mom's social worker, please push her, nudge her to find out what's going on with my mom. Please, she's my only hope. She's our only hope. Of course, in the back of the mind, I keep saying, what if she can't? What if, due to something Marion set up, or red tape, or what if she can't? Or what if she's just too busy? Cheryl was saying before that she hadn't reached her. She's like, I don't think she's in. I mean, it's just so frustrating. I'm going to call her quickly today, Cheryl, and just let her know my mom's not back, and I really highly doubt she's going to be back. She's either still in a regular medical hospital or in a different mental hospital. Or even in the same mental hospital in a different wing. Could be anything. Back in my mind, we have to find out, please. We have to find out, please. I'm going to lose my mind. And if you're wondering why I haven't yet, quote, exposed, unquote, Marion to mom's friends or family or whatnot, I have my own reasons. Remember, I've never in my life been the tortoise. I'm not the tortoise, I'm the hare. Okay? I'm sorry, I've never been the hare. I'm not the hare, I'm the tortoise. Slow and steady. Slow and steady wins the race. Sometimes. It takes time. I'm trying to become stronger. I'm trying to get adjusted to living here. I told you, nothing's perfect. Nothing can ever be perfect. You know. He's wonderful. Like I said, his dog will bark in the middle of the night and wake me up. He gets up real early in the morning and that wakes me up. And need to go to bed earlier, definitely. I'm never been the hare in this life. I'm the tortoise. I'm doing things slowly. And remember, I'm severely depressed, so that hinders me tremendously. But I'm slowly doing things. I'm getting things done. I had to get adjusted to living here in my new home. I still want to, the top thing is I need it dark at night. There's too much light. We're on the second floor. There's too much light. My bedroom's on the second floor. There's too much light that shines in. I couldn't stand it. Even when I put up a lighter sheet, even when I did this, that, it was still coming in. So, but you have to remember at all times, I'm doing things slowly. I'm getting things done slowly. Getting adjusted to living here. Trying, waiting for it to be warmer out, sunnier out. I'm hindered by severe depression. Understandable depression. I'm hindered, continuously hindered by that. I'm doing things slowly. Getting things done slowly. I'm hindered by this helpless fury I continuously feel as well. Helpless fury and severe depression. Lovely combination. I need to have him teach me how to use his DVD player. It's different than how it was with my mom's. He said he had a different one, but then it didn't fit, and his work gave him one as a present or something, I don't know. But I was wondering why we were watching a movie and he couldn't pause it, couldn't run it. And I'm like, how do you don't know how to use your own DVD player? I'm thinking to myself and not saying anything. And then the truth came out. He'd only used it a couple of times. You gotta teach me how to use it. I really need to, if I can, secretly get Don Juan and Wolf of Wall Street. Really raunchy, escapist movies. I'm doing all the right things, playing nice and whatnot, and then, something has to give. Because there's no outlet for the continuous helpless fury and severe depression. I'm just not naturally, I have sweetness to me, but I also have, as I've said, I have darkness in me, extreme darkness, so I can't just play nice all the time. I need something more. I start to slip even more into scary territory, terrifying territory. There's no need to elaborate. because what I know is, oh sure, there are men out there. Actually, I noticed, I checked my analytics, and just when I first moved in here, less than 2 months ago, and even up until relatively recently, a couple weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, my percentage of men and women, it was only 7.5% male viewers, and the rest was women, and now it's doubled. Last night it was 15% men and 85% women, so I've slowly increased my male audience. Don't know how that's happened. But anyway, so the reason that I don't have to elaborate certain things, because these deep videos, the only men or women bothering to watch them in their entirety, you have to have time on your hands for one thing, but are men and women who have the patience, the desire, the depth, whatever, just to watch them, you know. Just because you get video views doesn't mean anybody's actually watching your video for any length of time, you know. That's the thing, most people don't watch the videos in their entirety. So I get deep and I use big words, whatnot, for only those handful of people out there who are actually watching my entire video. Okay? So I don't have to elaborate. I need something more. I need excitement. I've already told you. Or I'm in danger of slipping in, you know, or there's a chance of me slipping more and more into dangerous territory, okay, in my head or whatnot. I need more. I can only play nice to a point, okay? And by play nice, I mean, you know, do all the right things and watch the nice movies, and you know what I mean? I need to live vicariously. And Wolf of Wall Street and Don Juan, you know, the one with the recent one with Jordan Joseph Levitt or whatever, Gordon Levitt, who, by the way, was in an incredible movie called 50-50 about cancer. Anyway, even escaping into those movies, preferably, well, a little bit tipsy, might be just what the doctor ordered. I just can't play nice all the time, and since I'm terrified of men now, and I can't do the dating thing or whatnot unless, I mean, I could play online, you know, I could pretend, but when push comes to shove, there's a reason I only met 2 men on different occasions via 2 different dating websites in a year. You know, remember I was at Joe's, my friends, you know, for those 3+ months, but still, you know, the reason. One of the reasons, as I told you, is these men undeniably think I'm sexy, gorgeous, whatnot, you know, and then we start corresponding back and forth, and my mind scares them away. It's happened numerous times to me. Don't care. As I've screamed and screamed and screamed, I don't care. Time for me to go back to bed after I drink a whole bunch of water. It's gonna run out soon, this video, anyway. Could just go until it runs out. I don't know. Yes, in this life I've never ever been the hare. I'm the tortoise. slow and steady. In high school and college, I would study 20 hours for one test. My papers would come out too long, so I'd spend more time rewriting them. I'd spend 20 more hours writing my papers, and a lot of times in the end they still were too long. I'm never the hare, always the tortoise. But the old adage, slow and steady wins the race. Don't know. It could be true, could not be true. As we all know, a lot of times the hare is who wins the race. So, slow and steady wins the race might be a stupid, saying. But it has truth in it, buried within it, that eventually, no matter, you go slow and meticulous. I'm a Virgo. I don't really believe in signs and whatnot, but I do have some Virgo in me, It's just I have other signs in me as well. I have things completely opposite to what they say about Virgos. I have the split personality of the Leo. Is it the Leo? No, the Gemini. The Gemini is the split personality, right? But I definitely have Virgogian. It's not a word. I definitely have traits of the Virgo. I'm meticulous. I'm detail oriented. You can focus on one thing. Like I said, I used to study for hours. Perhaps to my detriment, but think about high school. I hated myself. I had my dad around all the time to remind me, even if he didn't say it out loud, even if he was thinking of what a loser I was. No friends, no boyfriends, nothing. That was after we moved to Florida, but even when I had Mary, the one friend, that only because she reached out to me even when I had her, for my first 2 years while I was still in Massachusetts, I was still a loser. I only had one friend. Couldn't hang out with her all the time. She had her other friends, and she also did drugs. She was going through hell at home, and she had boyfriends too, and she was having sex, I'm sure. I believe she was, yeah. She would drink and drugs and sex, but she was still a sweetheart underneath it. She really cared about me. She never did anything to hurt me, unlike my recent shelter friend. Okay? Mary never did anything to hurt me. And funny how I can be friends even though I'm not doing drugs and having sex and drinking, but I can be friends with someone like that so long as you're a nice person underneath and you don't treat me like crap. I can be friends with anybody if if we connect, if you're nice, if you accept my sweetness and you're not gonna ridicule me or whatnot. Mary certainly never said stuff to me like my shelter friend, well, do you like being how you are, the way you are, I don't know. She had problems, I had problems. She dealt with them in different ways. I was goody two-shoes. Why would I start smoking pot when my dad smoked pot? Why would I drink when he drank? I wanted to be as unlike him, as different from him as humanly possible. So I was a good girl. I was never good enough for my father to love me, It's because he didn't care about any of the stuff that a lot of parents would care about. I was intrusion on his girlfriend, her life and his life, and he wanted me to be couth, to be, everything I wasn't raised to be. He wanted me to remember stuff on my own and just to, whatever, it doesn't matter. All that matters is it was hell, and it just reinforced my self-hatred. So think about how hard it was for me to memorize stuff, I wasn't this naturally smart. I taught myself to memorize, because in school, in high school, you have to remember, you take multiple choice tests, A, B, C, D, you have to retrieve stuff from your memory, you don't really learn, you regurgitate. I can remember any of that shit I regurgitated. No. I could study 20 hours for a test. I remember one of my science tests and I still got a C or C on it, I think. Because I was dealing with so much in my brain, I've always been a thinker. I've always been extremely smart, even when I was a little girl. And my brain just spins and spins, and I went through so much shit. And then I had my dad wanted me to be perfect, so, wanted me to not upset things between him and his girlfriend, And he thought I was doing stuff on purpose, but I wasn't. I really couldn't remember. I had so much going on in my head and worried about my mother, and I'd been taken away from my mother who I loved so much, and I didn't know how to make friends, and it was only because Mary reached out to me, but like I said, most of the time I was alone, and alone breeds psychosis. Anyone smart can tell you that. And Dad and Diane, they thank God for her. She didn't treat me like shit. I don't think I'd still be here now if she had treated me like shit. But then again, you never know. I'm the type that I wanted to escape Dad. I thought about running away, and then I'm able to think, unlike other runaways. I'm like, well, I don't want to become a prostitute, so I'll just stay here and deal with this, and mature, thinking of consequences. Starving. But rather than eat, I'm gonna just go to sleep. I'll drink water and I'll go to sleep. I won't fully sleep a few hours, till like 10. And once I sleep till 10, I've fasted on mostly water for 36 hours. Maybe a little more. I stopped eating Sunday night, probably. Saturday night. Today's Monday. I stopped eating anything Saturday night around 10:30, I believe. So even when I get up today, remember I can't eat. I can't eat within a half hour of taking my MSM, and I always take my MSM without the Camel because I got left behind. And I didn't buy more yet. As I said, my money's dwindling away here. I'll be getting my 1,000 in a couple days. But 600 of that goes for the rent. I have to be careful now. I really have to start conserving my money. And I'm paying rent now. I was paying rent at my mom's, but remember, I was paying the equivalent of rent and included buying food and stuff for us. And, now there's 600 right on top, and then all my food. I have to be really careful now. Really, really careful. And then with this, though, yeah, it's really hard to focus on studying in high school, your final exams, or this, that, whatever, when you hate yourself and you know you're a loser, and your dad reminds you that you're a loser all the time, and he says things to you like, he doesn't want you, nobody wants you, your family doesn't want you, your mother's crazy, I'm gonna ship you back to your crazy mother, and he thinks you're doing things on purpose, that, not being clean, as in, like forgetting things, leaving the iron on, or I really didn't do it on purpose. I was all fucked in the head. I didn't do anything on purpose. You're kidding me? I wanted to please him. It's all I wanted. I wanted him to love me. I wanted him to leave me alone. Of course I wasn't doing it on purpose. And what I learned from his girlfriend, he exploded at me because things would build up. He wouldn't say the first time. I took a shower in the morning, went to school, and left the towel on the floor. He wouldn't say it to me. So since he didn't say it to me, I didn't even know that I did it. Apparently he would let it build up inside of him, and then every 3 weeks or so, he would explode at me over everything that had happened that he'd never mentioned. So I didn't even know, but I never knew when he would explode. So I come home every day on the bus, wondering if I'd done something wrong, wondering if this was gonna be a day he was gonna reinforce my own self-hatred. Yes. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Remember, I was just a little girl. I looked like a sexy woman. I had the same body I had now. I was thin. Eventually, I weighed 140 when I first moved in with him, but I eventually went up to 185 because I didn't want him commenting on my body or whatnot. He never touched me physically. He never beat me. It was all words. So what? It was sexual innuendos, and it was outright cruelty, and it was, and I was a little girl inside this giant, sexy body that even when he would take me out sometimes to a restaurant and he'd order a beer, they'd ask me, oh, what does she want? He loved it. He loved it. I was more attractive than his girlfriend. She was tiny. She was 5 feet, and he was 6'1", and I was 5'10" almost, and I was beautiful, and he loved it. He loved when people would ask, they'd think I was his fucking girlfriend. I looked more like how his match would be than his own girlfriend did. But I wasn't that on the inside. I was just a 13, 14-year-old, 15-year-old little girl, okay? I wasn't tough, and I couldn't deal with my father treating me the way that he did. I couldn't deal with it. I internalized everything. I wasn't the type to just be like, oh, my dad's an ass, fuck him, I'm gonna go smoke and drink and fuck around. Oh my God. I wouldn't have even known how to be like that.